Hey, it's Luke, and today we're looking at the top 8 space sims making an impact in 2026. And I've mixed this one on purpose. 5 upcoming games that could seriously shake up the genre this year, and 3 ongoing giants that are still evolving and still dragging the whole space sim scene forward with them. And before we jump in, if you enjoy space sims and LT gaming, do me a favour, hit that like button. Consider it a quick boost to shields before we punch the engines and head into the void. No messing around today, let's get into it. If you want a space sim that's less ace pilot and more captain in the chair, Starship Command Orion Spur is absolutely one to watch. The whole pitch is capital ship command. I mean, it's what we've always wanted in a space sim, right? You're on the bridge of the Ajax-class destroyer CSV Leonidas, barking orders, managing power between weapons, shields and engines, and making those very tough command decisions. It's totally a throwback to one of my favourite games ever, Star Trek Bridge Commander. And I like that it leans into the idea you can actually know your crew as well. You can walk the ship, interact with officers, and it's clearly trying to be a proper single-player campaign, not just a skirmish sandbox. And I actually do have my hands on a very early build of this, an alpha build, and I've played the skirmish mode. It is already very impressive. Now I can't show too much of that because I don't have permission yet, but I plan to make a video on it very soon, so keep an eye out for that one. This one feels like it could make an impact in 2026 because there are constant dev updates on YouTube, and they also speak to myself on a regular basis. Daniel Gibbs has been in regular contact, letting me know the team's working super hard, but also being very honest about the approach and sometimes some of the sticking points they've had, especially around performance, and they're working on it extremely hard. I think that's encouraging that he's being so open. As a result, they're pushing hard towards a demo release, and it should be coming to Steam soon enough. They're working on a lot of unsexy stuff that decides whether a space sim lives or dies, you know, bugs, stability and performance issues. I'm just really hoping that this game can deliver that Star Trek Bridge Commander experience that I've always wanted, and I know many of you have also. I've got to know Daniel Gibbs quite well offline. We always have chats about different things, and honestly, I think he has a strong vision for this, and I think he's going to deliver the project. He's very driven. This one might not be released in 2026, but I do think the demo will make an impact and have space simmers super excited for capital ship command. They've just got to make sure that a cool idea can land on Steam with an impact. And if the demo is well received, this is a sort of niche bridge command space sim that can build momentum real fast. SpaceCraft is basically that dream combo a lot of us have wanted for years. Proper space exploration where you're moving seamlessly from systems down to planets, but with a big emphasis on the builder brain side of the genre. You're mining, crafting, and upgrading your ships, but you're also automating planetary bases and building out interplanetary logistics. Yeah, the scope is absolutely epic here, and I can't stop playing the playtest that I'm in, and I probably should because they keep doing wipes. But it's not just fly, shoot, repeat. It's set up an operation, scale it, and then go further. Now, we get a lot of pushback in the comments on this one about it being an MMO, but they have said they're focused on the single-player experience. If they can then layer in MMO elements, I have no problem with that. So I don't get people parroting that point all the time. Okay, Star Citizen is controversial, but it's a different game. And because it's positioned as an online persistent universe type thing, the trade and cooperation angle looks like it's meant to be a real pillar of the experience, with corporations already implemented in the playtest and working very well. I am primarily a single player gamer, so I get where some people are coming at, but with a space game, I think it adds so much if they can do this right. And let's be honest, Shiro have a wonderful reputation for delivering great games. Dune Spice Wars is a real gem. I've also never played a playtest with so much content in it before. I mean, I played the Verse project the other day and there was just nothing to do. And the bugs were horrendous, while in SpaceCraft I've had a great time. They have publicly shifted the early access window to Q2 2026, and I think that's quite encouraging. My only criticism here is sometimes the game can feel a little bit empty at the moment in the playtest. Some of the worlds are a bit barren, so they do need to do something about that. I'm super excited about this one. I really enjoy the playtest. It's great to fly around in. The planet transitions are already really cool, and I think it's going to be an absolutely brilliant game. If SpaceCraft can stick the onboarding and the performance side, it could be one of the headline space releases people are talking about through 2026. If you've been craving a space combat sim that treats space, well, like space, and not a World War II dogfight with stars painted on the ceiling, In the Black is one of the most interesting impacting 2026 contenders on this list. The hook here is hard science, nuclear-powered combat in our own solar system, with you flying as a mercenary contractor in corporate shadow wars, and the game putting a big emphasis on subsystem, style combat, loadout tinkering, and that proper cockpit pilot intensity. It's also set up to cover a few lanes at once, you've got single player missions, co-op PvE, and 5v5 PvP. So it's not going to be relying on just one mode to carry the whole thing. And finally, last year we got a demo after quite a long time of waiting, so I'm hoping that In the Black continues to make a big impact in 2026. The demo feels like an on-ramp to early access, and I do think the team are going to deliver it very soon. If you're looking for that skill-based, science-driven identity in a space sim, this is definitely the one to keep an eye on the list. More to come on In the Black very soon. Space Engineers 2 is still very much in that early access, big potential, still cooking phase. But it's exactly the kind of project that can quietly become a monster in 2026 as the systems stack up. It hit early access on January 27th, 2025, and the devs are openly framing this as a long-haul title, but their devlogs have been absolutely amazing. But overall, my thoughts are that because they are being so transparent and so quick in their development, this game is really going places in 2026. The impact here is the cadence and the substance of those updates. They've already added the Algamass system to this title. I had a playthrough and I was really impressed, and I think overall, though they have a long way to go, this is showing serious signs of potential. The graphics are absolutely next level, though the performance doesn't quite match that yet. But I think 2026 is the year that this steps up to be a proper successor to Space Engineers. If Keen Software House can keep up this level of quality in their devlogs and their updates, it's going to be an amazing space game. If you want a deeper dive into this one, check out our last video. There are some excellent comments on that video, and honestly one of the nicest wholesome comment sections I've seen on any video we've done. We have an amazing community at LT Gaming, so I highly encourage you to comment on this video also. I really do enjoy those conversations. Just a quick interlude to say most of you who watch the channel are not subscribed. So make sure to go down below and hit that subscribe button, because it helps smaller channels like us grow really quickly, and both me and Tom really appreciate it. Starship Simulator is one of those projects that just swings way bigger than most space sims. It's trying to give you the full live-on-the-ship fantasy, a fully explorable, realistically designed starship, a galaxy-scale sandbox built around real astrophysics, and a vibe where 1 minute you're deep in ship systems and the next you're literally just wandering the decks, watching those stars drift by. If you're anything like me, you've always dreamed of looking out the window of the Starship Enterprise, just watching the stars shoot by, but you know, maybe that's only possible in a fantasy universe. Or maybe it's just me, who knows. It's still not near release and there is a TBA launch date, but there is a demo you can play on Steam already, which is a big deal because you can actually feel the ambition. I've also dropped into a number of Dan's live streams when he's building ships, and the community is very engaged with his project and really enjoying his work, though there is a risk this one could end up a bit empty because he's only one guy. That's not to run down the work he's doing, it's absolutely incredible every time I watch it, but I do worry about the scope of this one. However, the reason I think it can make an impact in 2026 is that the updates are increasingly about turning the fantasy into a functioning sim. Their tech demo 3 work went hard on the command and exploration side, more interactive sensors, with holo display tooling, and crucially the early foundations for NPC crewing, so you can start filling bridge roles without needing a full multiplayer session every time. They've also been chipping away at the heavy technical stuff like optimizing galaxy generation so travel and exploration doesn't get bogged down by hitches. There's clearly a huge amount of work going into this game. It's just making sure that the vision has a focus and that there's something to actually do. I mean, I will be totally happy with a space sandbox, but we do need to see all the systems come together here. But I am hopeful that 2026 could be the year that Starship Simulator stops feeling less like a promise and more like the captain's chair sim we also desperately want. In 2025, No Man's Sky kept dropping big foundational updates. Worlds Part 2 pushed new star systems and planet variety while raising the visual baseline with lighting and water upgrades. Relics leaned into expeditions and collecting with archaeology and museum-style displays, while Beacon went straight for the live here fantasy by overhauling settlements and widening cross-save. And finally, Voyagers landed with corvettes and a stronger ship fantasy, the kind of step that changes what the game is, not just what it adds. For 2026 impact, Beacon plus Voyagers feels like the setup for the next era, deeper settlements and more meaningful ship-centric play. For me, it's moving No Man's Sky towards the space sim rather than just a simple space survival game. If Corvette-style spaces keep expanding into fuller ship interior gameplay, and if settlements keep getting richer with economy, new events, the broader progression layers, it becomes a sort of game you don't just visit. You keep coming back because your corner of the universe is constantly evolving. I mean, I'm going away this week and I can't wait to to play No Man's Sky on my Nintendo Switch 2. They deserve massive credit for turning this one around, and I can't wait to see what's next from Hello Games and No Man's Sky in 2026. You just know it's going to have a massive impact on the space genre. In 2025, Elite Dangerous started feeling like it had a proper cadence again. The Trailblazers in February was a big one, bringing in system colonization, framed as a beta-style step but still a huge shift towards players shaping systems and infrastructure, helping to combat that feeling that Elite Dangerous is a mile wide and about 2 centimeters deep. Then you had the Corsair ship coming in April and Vanguards in August, which aimed at a revamped Squadrons experience, basically making groups feel more supported and meaningful. And toward the end of the year, they kept the momentum going with the Caspian Explorer in December. For 2026 Impact, colonization is the headline. If Frontier keeps iterating it, it can reshape the core loop into something more player-driven, with logistics, expansion and shared community goals that actually change the map. It's a game I've never actually deep dived on the channel. If you'd like me to start doing more Elite Dangerous content like we do with X4 Foundations, let me know in the comments below. I've actually played a lot of Elite Dangerous and we have a lot of discussions in the Discord about how much better it is now, and I really want to jump back in 26. The other big factor that is signalled by 2025 is that there's consistency again, with new updates and ship releases actually giving players what they want. If they can carry on improving in 2026, then this game could definitely still make an impact despite its age. The fan base out there is still hardcore, and I think new players could still be brought into it. And the trouble on YouTube with Elite Dangerous is it's the same old stale channels making the same old stale videos. We need some fresh angles here. I think at LT Gaming we've been quite good at reviving the space sim genre. I mean, in 2025 we did more views than some of the really big space sim channels. I think it just demonstrates a real desire out there for space sims to be covered well, and I'd love to do more Elite Dangerous. In 2025, X4 Foundations kept doing what it does best, quietly getting deeper and smoother at the same time. Better AI and fleet behaviour, quality of life upgrades that make Empire management less fiddly, and ongoing tuning that helps big saves stay playable as your economy and wars scale up. And that's the key thing, to be honest, with X4. Even when it's not one giant reboot update, the cumulative progress is what keeps it feeling alive for veterans. And then there's the modding scene. We covered the Star Wars Interworlds mod. You should definitely check that video out. It's absolutely incredible and makes X4 just a must buy. It's not just one of the best Star Wars mods on the market, it's probably one of the best Star Wars games. For 2026 Impact, it's all about X4 continuing to be the long-form space sim that rewards commitment. If EgoSoft keep iterating on diplomacy, faction behaviour and the management layer, while tightening performance and usability, then X4 stays in that rare lane where you can build a true living empire. Disappear for a month and then come back to a universe that still feels like it has progress. And this is why X4 Foundations remains such a pillar pick for making an impact. It isn't chasing trends, it's just getting more itself every year. X4 Foundations has been absolutely huge on LT Gaming, and we're going to make sure to keep covering any major updates. Right, this has been an incredible list of games that are going to make a massive impact in 2026. I've been Luke. Make sure to do all that YouTube stuff, it really helps us grow and become a massive space sim channel, alongside all the other amazing genres that we cover here. LT Gaming is the place to find games, so make sure you're along for the ride. As always, I've been Luke, and I'll catch you on the next one.